I was really impressed with the effort that we played with, the competitive spirit that we played with. And I think the thing that the players will learn in this game, as we learn as coaches, is that a lot of good things happen when we executed and executed together as a unit. And when we didn't do that, we made mental errors in some cases. In some cases, the other team didn't take advantage of it. But these are things that can expose you in the future, and it kind of gets you when it gets you. So everybody has a clear understanding, or needs to have a clear understanding, of what we need to improve individually and collectively as a group. And you know, as I said, there were a lot of good things in the game, but there's a lot of things that need to be corrected as well. I mean, we made a lot of explosive plays on offense. You know, we had pretty good balance on offense. I think carried the ball too loose at times. Could be an issue in the future if we don't do a better job in that regard. You know, we had some protection issues where we got some pressure on the quarterback, even though we only had one sack. They didn't take advantage of it a couple times, and the quarterbacks did a good job. We had way too many penalties as a team, and I think it was even more clear on defense when we executed and did things correctly. You know, we had pretty good success, and you know, when we made mental errors and didn't do the right things, you know, they did take advantage of it on occasion, and it led to some of their very big plays. You know, you have the players of the week. We have a couple guys that, you know, probably won't practice today with some minor things, which is not unusual for us on Monday. But I think we should have probably everybody back tomorrow. So there's nothing really, you know, new to report from that standpoint. You know, we look forward to being at home this week. I know our players love to play in Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's a great environment for them. I know we'll have a great crowd, and looking forward to the folks, you know, really supporting our players in a positive way. But the most important thing that we're focused on here is, you know, showing improvement as a team. And, you know, I think everybody knows that, you know, Tua is going to start, you know, this game, and we're going to use Jalen's skill set in the future to help however we feel that he can benefit the team. And I just want to be clear with everyone that I have done this in the past, where we don't say who the starter is going to be for the first game, and we give both quarterbacks an opportunity to play in the game, which is exactly what we did in this game. Not a whole lot different than what we've done in the past. All right, so now we know, and you know. But just to be clear on something is, I love all of our players on our team. And I think as parents out there, you could relate to this, that you love all your children. And sometimes some of your children do things a little better than others. That doesn't mean you vilify one and put the other on a pedestal, especially publicly, because you want to support and help both to be successful. And you know, that's exactly how I feel about our players, and I just want everybody to understand that. Now, Arkansas State, you know, to me, they have a really good program. They have been champions of their league several years in a row, came in second last year, obviously have a very good quarterback, a lot of firepower on offense. Blake Anderson does a really good job. They play really well on special teams. They're sound in everything they do. It's going to be one of those fast-paced speed ball games where they're going to probably go as fast as they can. They threw the ball for 400 and some yards last week and 6 touchdowns, and a lot of different people get the ball for them. So it's not one specific person, but they do have a really good scheme. It's a spread scheme. A lot of people all over the place. They've had pretty good balance in their offense, and this will be a very challenging preparation for our defensive players. And you know, we need to stay focused on what we need to do to improve as a team ourselves. And I don't think this is a time for complacency. I think there's great opportunity for improvement from the first game to the second game because you learn a lot about yourself, and I think our players need to take advantage of that.
Coach, we'll start over here on the right with Charlie.
Just how would you assess Tosh Lupoy's play calling and the adjustments that he made in his debut?
I'm not going to evaluate our coaches publicly. You know, we do everything together around here on offense. We do everything together on defense. I'm responsible for whatever happens on both sides of the ball. You know, when we did things correctly on defense relative to what we called, we did a really, really good job and played well. I think we had too many mental errors, you know, in the game, which, you know, goes back to preparation. Our responsibility as coaches, players' responsibility. They were a difficult preparation because of the formation adjustments, multiples. We talked about that before we ever played them. Pro-style team, a lot of new players out there, a lot of adjustments to have to make. So it wasn't totally surprising that we would have, you know, some issues in adjustment and make some mental errors. But I was encouraged by the effort. I was encouraged by the toughness. I was encouraged by the resiliency that the players showed in competing. Guys really played hard in the game, and the mistakes we can fix. So that's what we're looking forward to.
In the middle with Michael.
Just wondering, did you have any regrets about the post-game interview with Maria Taylor on ESPN?
You know, I talked to Marie, and I could have handled it in a better way. But I do think that the statement that I made before about loving our players, and if I get asked to vilify a player and make another one a crown prince publicly, I might not respond to that, and I need to learn a better way to respond to that. And I will in the future. And I pray every Sunday that I never get angry. But it was a time and circumstance thing for me. I was a little upset by the way we finished the game, the penalties that we had, the mental errors that we had. So it was totally my responsibility, and we apologized for it.
Coach, up front here with Dwayne.
Coach, after the game, you talked about the league and you watched TV and saw how that league played Saturday. Then when you see LSU beat Miami, was that opening statement you felt like the league made in terms of Auburn beating Washington, the way you guys played LSU, about what a league is?
Well, I think the league's very strong this year. I thought that going in before we watched any games, but it's just like our team. You know, you never know where you are until you actually go out there and play. You know, some people will have more depth than others and be able to sustain. Some people will have a little more luck with injuries than others and be able to sustain. So it's a long season. I think there's a lot of good teams in our league. I thought that from the start. I thought, you know, everyone in our division, on our side of it, has a chance to have a really good team, and I think that showed. And I think there's, you know, some really good teams on the other side too. So, and I think there was some pretty. I didn't watch a lot, but the little bit I watched, you don't have to watch long to know that, you know, there's a lot of good teams, you know, in this league this year, and a lot of good quarterbacks too.
On the left with John Teeman.
Early in the game, you guys got a lot of different playmakers on offense involved, running back, receivers, tight end, Irv Smith Jr. I'm wondering, is that a strength of that diversity? Is that a strength of not only this offense, but of Tua to spread it around a little bit?
Well, I think that, you know, the offense is geared not to a specific player getting the ball necessarily on certain plays, but it's geared on the quarterback reading what the defense is doing and throwing the ball relative systematically to where the ball should go relative to what the other team does. So you don't always predict who's going to get the ball. So I do think that, you know, Tua is instinctive and made pretty good decisions in the game and got the ball the right place most of the time. And when you have a lot of players who have the ability to make plays, I think you want them all to be involved in the game and have chances to make plays. And I think it was good that we had a lot of guys able to do that in the game.
Coach, front right here with Mark.
How does Deontay Thompson's range on the back end help the cornerbacks and also the defense as a whole?
Well, you know, Deontay did a good job of breaking on the ball on several occasions, and I think that's really, really important when you're playing in a deep part of the field. So he made a great interception, which was really kind of the turning point in the game when the score was 14-0, and they were on a drive and got pretty close to the red zone, and you know, that was a huge play in the game. So. You know, but he's like every other player, needs to do his job all the time, and you know, we need to improve our tackling, you know, overall on defense, and I think that's going to be a real focus for us this week.
Back to Cecil.
Coach, you had mentioned Quentin Williams a couple of times in August, and in his first start, how did you feel like he played? I'm going to follow.
Well, he was player of the week, so I would say we thought he played pretty well. I thought he was probably the most active player up front, and, you know, did a good job of pass rushing, played his gaps well. You know, he's got really good quickness and athleticism, and we were really pleased with the way he played, but it was really no surprise to anybody because he played great in the spring game, and he had a great fall camp.
Coach will stay over there with Reiner.
Is there a plan, or is the redshirt rule factoring into how you're going to plan to use Jalen Hurts going forward?
Not from my standpoint. You know, I think that I don't know how you can prepare when you pick and choose when you're going to play players. I don't know how you can do that. I mean, you got to get somebody ready to play in the game. So if you have any suggestions, I'd be glad to listen to them, but I don't know how you do that. I don't know how a player really can pick or choose when he wants to play and have any respect from his teammates if everybody's committed to the team and, you know, doing what they want to do best for the team. So I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you.
Come back over here with Tony. Two more, Tony and Alex.
Previously called Mack Wilson the quarterback of the defense, so said he was going to have to step into that role. How do you think he did in his first, I guess, game in that role?
Well, you know, it was good to get him in the game. I'm glad we were in a position where we could get him some experience. I think he only had, one opportunity to throw the ball and threw it the right place. Or
Mack Wilson, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mac Jones. Mac did a good job. Mac had a good game. You know, I thought he played well. I think there was a lot of multiples for him to, you know, adjust to, and I thought he did a good job. I really, for the first time, happened to be in that position. You know, we made some mistakes, but we all made some mistakes, and I think we'll get better and learn from those mistakes. But I thought overall, Mac did a good job.
Nick, can you just kind of explain the factors that went into your decision to start Tua, and what kind of conversations have you had with Jalen since Thursday when you made your decision?
Look, we're going to make all of our decisions here based on winning, and whoever we feel gives us the best opportunity to go out there and win, that's who we're going to play. And I'm not going to, I mean, obviously it's how you practice, how you prepare. I said in the beginning, who wins the team? All right, so in our opinion, the one player did a little better job of that, so he got the opportunity to start, and we got the opportunity to play both guys and look and see, you know, how they performed, and we're going to continue to try to help both players improve and get better.